Hey everyone, my name is Tanya Klein and I am professional home and office organizer working in Baltimore, Pikesville, Owings Mills, and the Towson areas in Maryland. And I wanted to speak to you about your mail today. I help my clients organize many things, and one of the things that really stumps them is how to keep their house from piling up with mail and papers. Many times when I come into a client's home to start working with them on their mail, they'll say, okay, I have to show you something, but promise me you won't think I'm crazy. And I always say, I never think you're crazy. You know what? Everyone has their struggles. I have mine, you have yours, and we're all awesome people. And you have a struggle with your mail, so I'd like to hear your story. And then they start bringing out, I'll put something together, bags that look like this. Lots of them, shopping bags. And then they pull out these stacks of mail that was never opened. And many of them have bags and bags like this that they've crammed together because their mother-in-law was coming over and they didn't want her to see all the mail sitting on the table. So they quickly stuffed it all into a bag and promised themselves that they're going to take care of it the next day, but then they didn't get around to it. And then it just kept on adding up, and then they were busy with schoolwork or whatever it is they were doing, and they unfortunately didn't have a chance to get to their mail. And after a while, it's just completely overwhelming. Bills are not getting paid, and the important paperwork is missing. Checks that were supposed to be coming in, they don't think they ever came in. But actually, many times I found checks, and sometimes unfortunately expired checks in old mail that we've gone through with our clients. So I'd like to talk to you today about keeping your mail organized and helping you. So the first thing I wanted to tell you is when the mail comes in from your front door, most of the time it lands in the closest surface to the door possible. So, and typically many times that will be a dining room table. I find most people do their sorting of mail on the dining room table. And I'm here to tell you that's absolutely fine. You don't think that you have to make a big move and say, okay, now I'm going to be more organized, so I'm going to start sorting my mail upstairs in my home office in the back of the house. No, be practical. Your mail comes in by the front door and that's where you organize it. That's fantastic. Just set something up by the front door so that when the mail does come in, you're ready to take care of it right away and it doesn't just migrate throughout the house. So the first thing I want to tell you is, let's say that your mail comes in to the dining room table. So what you should do is, by the dining room table, have a little waste paper basket under the table and a small shredder next to it and plugged in. Sort through your mail. You get a pile of mail, sort through your mail and take a look. All the junk stuff that you can throw out, throw right out. Anything that has identifying information but you don't need, stick it in the shredder right under the dining room table. That's where I'm assuming. Of course, you might have it in another place, or your kitchen might be near your front door, whatever, wherever it is that you're comfortable. I'm gonna use the dining room table just as an example. Now, the next thing to do is to get something like this. This is an iris bin. You can get it online on Amazon for about $6, and a few little folders with tabs. This system is so easy, it's gonna knock your socks off. I'm telling you, it's awesome. Okay, here's how it works. You put in, let's say, we're gonna start with 4 folders, okay? And you label each one. The first one is labeled time sensitive. The second one is labeled filing. The third one is labeled projects. And the fourth one is labeled mail supplies. What you're gonna do is, in time sensitive, you're going to take any bills that you have, you're going to open up, you're going to look at the date, and you're going to mark the date on the outside of the envelope. Then you're going to take that bill and you're going to stick it into time sensitive. Time sensitive means it's something that needs to be taken care of in a very timely fashion. And then you're going to put that into your bin. All your bills are going to be in your time sensitive folder, and also anything else that might be an emergency that came in. If it's a form that you have to fill out within the next day or two, you can stick that in time sensitive. The next folder, filing. In filing, you're going to have everything that came in the mail and that you just needed to have that paper. You don't need to do anything further with it, and you want to file it away in your filing system in your home. You might not have a filing system yet, but I'm going to show you how to set one up very easily. So you're going to, it's okay, I'll explain this part too. Next, projects. Okay, the projects folder is a very important folder as well. Into this folder goes, perhaps you have a questionnaire. I've got something I have to fill out for my son's school. I don't have to do it yet. I have a little while to do it. I started filling it out. It's a project. I'm still working on it, and I have to gather a little more information. So I'm going to keep that in my projects folder until it's done. And then when it's done, I'm going to mail it out, file it, whatever it is I have to do with it. So that sits in my projects until it's done. The fourth one is called mail supplies. Mail supplies is very simply, I've got supplies that I will need to be mailing things out. So I've got a roll of stamps. Snuck that from my husband's desk. Then I've got, these are labels to stick, address labels to stick on my envelope. And then I've got some envelopes in here and a pen. So I don't have to run all over the house looking for things. When I'm ready to mail a letter, I don't have to say, well, where did I put the envelopes? And oh, I got to get a pen. I don't know where my pens are. And then mail gets delayed even more. Now, the beauty of this system is its simplicity. It's really wonderful because really this takes care of everything. You've got time sensitive for bills. You've got filing for when you're ready to file, projects that are still open, and your mailing supplies. Once a week. Now, here's where you have to really decide to take action and block out a certain amount of time every week. Let's say your downtime during the week is Saturday night. Just making that up. I don't know, could be Sunday or whenever. Let's say Sunday. You know that Sunday morning you're just hanging out at home. Decide every Sunday morning you're going to go through your folder. You're going to go through your file box. You're going to take out the time-sensitive envelopes. You're going to pay your bills once a week. You're going to look at the date and you're going to see if you have to pay it that week. If you have tons of money, which is fabulous, then you can pay all your bills right away. If you're more on a budget and you want to pay them slowly, you'll see which ones are due that week and take care of those. Now, you know what's so cool about this? Once you pay this bill and you're just sending back the bottom half of the bill, right? You rip off the bottom half, you put it in the envelope, you take the top half of the bill, and guess where you're sticking it into? Your filing folder. Now, the next thing to do is once you've paid your bill, go to your filing folder and say, all right, I've got all these papers that I put in here, they're ready to get filed. I'm now going to file them. And then you might think, I don't have a filing system set up. Well, guess what? You're going to start right now. You're going to say from now on, whenever I have filing to do, I have put aside a small file cabinet because I'm going to start a filing system. And then you take your papers and let's say so in my filing folder, I happen to have something that says paid medical bills and I want to start a file for that. That's going to be my first file ever for my filing drawer and I'm very excited about that. I make sure I have files and tabs on hand. I make a new file called paid medical bills and I just stick that into my filing drawer. And that's how I start my filing system. It's so simple. The next week when I'm doing my filing, let's say I happen to have put in there, let's say kids report cards came in and I have them in my filing because I looked at them and then I just want to file them. So I take it out, kids report cards, just make a file called kids report cards, stick them in the new filing drawer that I've dedicated for my new filing system. And it's really that simple. Eventually you can alphabetize your filing drawer. You can make the tabs work so that they go straight across in your filing drawer, but that's something for later on. But that's basically how you take care of all your mail. A few more things I wanted to mention. Number one, if you have a lot of magazines coming into your home and you find that you're not reading them, a wonderful idea to do is to start eliminating them. And if you feel too overwhelmed to do a bunch of them at a time, do them one by one, or even take them, rip off the front of them, and throw the rest out, put them in recycling or however you do that, and then stick it into your projects. And then once a week when you're going through your projects file, say, oh yeah, I want to cancel this magazine. That's why I have the front cover ripped off and it's in my projects to remind me. And you call that phone number, let's say it's Time Magazine or whatever, and you don't want it anymore, call-up time and tell them, hi, please cancel my subscription. And then you get rid of that cover and you're done with that. Another way not to have so much paper clutter in your home is to try going paperless. Going paperless means getting your bills online and your statements online. The only pitfall with that is that some people, if they don't have an actual paper statement to hold in their hand or a bill, it just doesn't work for them. They don't pay their bills. So you have to know if you're the type of person that this is going to work for. But if you are, it's a fabulous way to take care of and, not to have so much paper coming into your home. And that's pretty much a story of how to have a brand new, amazing mail system that you can keep track of, that you can control, and that you take care of every week, simply and easily, without feeling overwhelmed. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. And feel free to, put any message you'd like in the comments below. Thank you so much, and thanks for spending time with me. Have a great day.